Hey, when is the last time you did something that was really great for your health and your body? I know that you're keen to get back into strength. I've got 5 exercises to show you today, and all they need is a body, a wall, and a floor. Let's start with bug legs. The first exercise is an abdominal Pilates exercise, and I'd love you to lie on the ground just a little bit away from the wall so that you can press your hands into the wall with nice and flat, elbows reaching to the ceiling. Slowly bring your legs up to tabletop, pushing the hands into the wall at the same time you push the ribs into the mat. Slowly alternate your leg extension, blowing through the straw every time you stretch out. That's it, reaching the legs away. I'm going to show you this exercise on the side so you can see what I'm working on here. So as you go from the start tabletop position, you're going to feel the core muscles working really hard. And as you push the arms into the wall, you actually close the chain and get a little bit of extra work from the arms as they do that. If you're not familiar with the term tabletop, by the way, that simply means 90 degrees at the knees and 90-degree angle at the hip. Best possible way to maintain pelvic neutral. However, it does mean you have to keep using that core, and if necessary, modify the range. So that simply means if going low with my leg starts to hurt, I'm allowed to stretch the leg out a bit higher up. As we breathe out, doing the stretch and breathe out. Moving on into the wall push-up, we're going to find a nice comfortable position with our hands a little bit wider than our shoulders and your feet as far away as you dare. Bending your elbows to tap the forehead onto the wall, then straightening the arms. Bending and straightening. This is a nice, simple version of a push-up. We actually use this in the studio as a really great way to re-establish the alignment of the scapula. So whilst it's not as much load on the shoulders and the arms as a regular push-up, it does give you the time to concentrate on where your shoulder blades should be placed. The further away your feet are from the wall, the more challenging the push-up is. And remember, of course, feel free to do a real push-up on your knees or on your toes. The aim is to feel the work in the muscles and the arm. Now we're going to move on to the wall squat. The wall squat is such a cool exercise. It gives you a chance to strengthen your leg and kind of work on your endurance and your posture. So we are going to sit in a position, and you'll notice my feet are a little bit wider so my knees can be turned out. And I want you to see that, because if you ever get any knee twinges or pain doing this kind of exercise, often the solution is to just open your legs a bit wider and turn out. The main consideration is that your knees are over your toes. So we're going to make this a time under tension exercise. So that simply means you're going to hold this for as long as you can hold. I'm going to recommend you do this for 30 seconds to start with. And rather than stop if it gets hard, because it can get strong, just come up a little bit. Hopefully you can come down to about 90 degrees. Remember, the knees should feel easy. Quads are feeling the work, of course. And you can do any hand weight bicep curls if you want to. Lateral raising, shoulder press. You can combine this with a whole bunch of different exercises. So that's your wall squat. Now we're going to move back into another scapular placement exercise, and we call this wall arms. Wall arms is an exercise that gives you a chance to really slowly re-establish this correct scapular placement of the movement of your arm and shoulder. It is also a killer shoulder workout. So start with your arms reaching forward as if you're sleepwalking, and pull the shoulder blades out wide and your elbows back towards the wall. Now I say towards the wall because not everyone can touch the wall. Sometimes touch the wall, you have to lose that beautiful placement. Let's call this a shoulder blade flat on the wall exercise. So looking at your arms, just make sure that they're even. Pull using the back muscles. Press your shoulder blades flush with the wall. Leave them there as your hands come forward. Just holding your arms up in this position, it's usually good enough to get a little bit of a shoulder burn. And who doesn't like that? Notice, have a little look and check that they're even. The progression for that is to internally and externally rotate the shoulder, taking your hand up, and then to lower the hand down. And I'd love it that you only go 45 degrees up and down to the center, and then 45 degrees down, because the ultimate purpose here is to keep your scapula and shoulder blade, that is your shoulder blade, sorry, flush with the wall. Now, one thing I haven't said yet is your head is off the wall. That is really important. You'll notice my knees are a little bit relaxed and bent, and my feet are slightly away from the wall, because the main priority is to have that action happening. I'm going to change arms. We're doing roughly 20 reps here today, so you can do 10. See how when I do this one, this is a little bit tighter for me this side. I'm really tempted to lose that shoulder placement. Noticing any twists and pulls and leans that your torso will make. Back down and then relax. Now there's one more part to this exercise, and I want you to turn the palms up to the ceiling, elbow bends and straightens. So I call this catching gift cards. So you're going to imagine that it's raining $100 gift cards or whatever currency you're in. And if your palms are not able to open right up to the ceiling and get that big stretch across the arm and the shoulder, then you're going to drop those cards. Once again, the head is slightly off the wall, but the back of the ribs are correctly pushing down in, and you're trying your hardest to maintain your neutral pelvis, which means you've got that little space in your lower back. Do the work, think about where your posture check is, are your abs on, and is your neck nice and relaxed. The next exercise is optional. It is a headstand, and it is a really lovely exercise to do. It reverses the arterial flow, so it's like a little holiday for the heart, gives a little bit of blood into the brain and the face. If you're concerned that you have a health problem, this is not a great idea, then just check with your health professional before you give this one a go. But if everything's hunky-dory or you're used to doing this, let's have a go. I'm going to teach you the headstand, and what we do is we clasp our fingers, put it behind our head, and come down onto the floor. I want you to make a tripod between your elbows and your hands, and then you're going to push yourself up. You can do that with your little bum push, or you can do it with one leg at a time. Now, the reason we're doing this against the wall is so it's nice and safe, and once you get there, that's where you start working. So you reach your legs up the wall, and here's where, if you can, come off the wall, because you know where you are in space, and this is the perfect opportunity to reach your feet right up to the ceiling, nice and easy, and literally just stay for as long as feels comfortable. And then when you're ready, I want you to come down very slowly and just sit back down here for a moment before you lift your head up. Slowly come up. So remember to save this and send this to someone you love. Looking forward to seeing you again. Tell us how you go.